Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. It is time to update my year of usage project plan, and it's been quite a while since I updated this because last month I just did not have the best progress, and I just didn't really have time to update it because we also had the quarterly update for like a couple different projects. So I decided to skip it last month because again I didn't have much to share, and unfortunately I don't have the most exciting update today either. I just have been not neglecting this project, but it's just been harder to hit my goals on this project considering everything else that I have going on, and considering like all the shows I'm trying to finish before the end of the year, stuff like that. But despite that, I am really excited to share with you the progress on the shadows and where I stand with my year of usage project plan. If you're new to this project, it was created by Kathrine, and the goal of this project is to use all your shadows the same amount of time as the year you're in. So currently we are in 2025, so the goal is to reach for all my shadows 25 times. I have kind of decided to focus only on my single shadows in this project just because I feel like my palettes and stuff like that I rotate through quite a lot in projects like Project Level Up, stuff like that. But when it comes to my singles, I don't reach for them as much, and it's something that I really do want to reach for more because they are some of my most stunning eyeshadows in my collection. So I'm going to jump into the video right here, but before I do that, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. Also, by the way, if you can hear my daughter having hiccups in the background, sorry about that, but yeah, she's having hiccups, but I need to film and it's not too distracting. But yeah, so I am currently, like I said, focusing on my singles, and usually how I structure this project is that I go through my focus 15, which is something that I have selected to do in this project, which is basically 15 single eyeshadows that I want to focus on in the month, and I let you know where I'm sitting with them, if I hit my goals on any of them, and then also if I have any other shadows that I hit my goal on outside of those 15. So let me jump into those 15 shadows and talk through them. And we have the focus 15 right here. So these are the shadows that I have been focusing on again in this project, so I'm going to go through them one by one. So the first shadow we have is this one here, which is a Depot Colourpop shadow, and I had this one in my palette in order, but I am trying to not hit my usage goal on this one because I had used it maybe like 13 times or so in that project, and I have again since then tried to focus on this one to hit my goal on. Currently I'm sitting at 16 uses with this one, so I still have a little bit of time to go, but you know, I'm getting closer and closer every single month. But I think I should be able to hit my goal on this one before the end of the year, but I will of course otherwise keep this project rolling into 2026 as well. Then next to that we have another kind of random brand that I have, which is Juvia's Place, and this is also the Potter shadow. This here is from the Tri palette originally, and it's the shade Masai. I don't know if I said by the way, but that Colourpop shadow is called Frank, but this here is called Masai, and this is just a really bright vibrant green color, and I have used this one 5 times, so again another one that I have not hit my goal on yet. The next shadow I am getting relatively close on, but again I still have a few uses left, but I think this is definitely one that I could hit my goal on because it's an easy shadow to incorporate, and that is this shadow from Makeup Geek. This is Peach Smoothie. I currently am sitting at 12 uses on this one. Of course I do have pan on it, so I have a lot of use on this one prior to starting to calculate my uses, but I'm sitting at 12 uses for now, and again I think it's one that I should be able to hit my goal on before the next update or the end of the year. Then the next brand we have is Cleona, and I have 3 Cleona shadows currently in the rotation. The first one is this one right here. It's called Exothermic. It's one of the dimensional lights. It's a really stunning like everyday shadow, but I am panning a lot of everyday shadow, which means that I'm neglecting this one a little bit. I only have used this one 4 times, so definitely not ideal, and this is definitely one that I think I might struggle with hitting my goal on before the end of the year, but whatever I don't hit this year, I can continue focusing on next year, and fingers crossed I can get it out early in the year. And I do really want to reach for this one more. And then the next one is even worse than that actually. This here is Oriel, which is one of the electric multi-chromes. It's a super stunning pink shadow, but I just haven't been doing many pink looks, so I've been neglecting this one a ton. This is one of the shadows in my Focus 15 that I really haven't used at all, and I only sitting at 1 use on this one. So it's another one that I'm probably going to take a break on because I'm clearly not reaching for it right now, and I think it's one that I'm going to reach for more in spring and summer next year. But then we do have a really exciting one, and this one here is one of the iridescent shadows. This is the shade Star Cut, which is one of the shades from the holiday countdown box last year. This is a really stunning, like I said, iridescent. It's one of the like iridescent from the like series 3 line, I think. And you do see now I have a massive dip in this one, and that is because I have actually reached my goal on this shade. I have now reached for 25 times. It is a really stunning shade, and I really enjoyed using this one and wearing it. So very glad that this one is one that I hit my goal on, and that is the first shade we're going to talk about again that I hit my goal on this month. Moving on to the next one, which is the Pastel Roses. We have this shade next, which is called Nectarine. This here I am sitting at 10 uses on, so you know, a decent amount, but not quite there yet. So I'm going to continue working on it in the next month. Then the next shadow is actually one that I have in my Panels eyeshadows, so I'm reaching for this one quite a lot. This here is Very Perry, which I do have a little bit of a dip in, as you can see. And I'm currently at 12 uses with this one, so about halfway to my goal. But since it is in my Panels eyeshadows, my goal there is to reach for 20 times, and I only need to do 5 more before the end of the year to hit my goal. So I will really try again to focus on this shadow. I then have one Sydney Grey shadow in my rotation at the moment, and that is this kind of murky yellow kind of shadow. It's like a muted out yellow, and this here is the shade Mango Tea, which I'm currently sitting at 15 uses with. So again, not too far left to hit my goal, but I'm not there right now, so I will continue reaching for it in the upcoming month. Another shadow I'm going to fly past is this one right here, because again I haven't reached for it really at all. I only have one use on it, and this here is Terra Moon's Butterfly Nebula, which is a beautiful iridescent shade, but again just have too many shadows that I'm working on, and that's why I'm been neglecting this shade. Another shade that is really beautiful on the inner corner, and it's not quite an iridescent, but it works that way, but also as like a topper shadow or on the lid, is the next one, which is from Davina. This here is Fairy Fire, and I only have 2 uses on it, so again not much, but I really love the shadow and I do need to reach for it a lot more. So it's another one that I'm going to try to, like, you know, get a couple of uses on in the next month. Maybe I won't fully hit my goal on it before the end of the year, but you know, it is one that I really do enjoy and I don't want to neglect as much as I currently am. Another shadow that's also from Davina and also have 2 uses is this here, which is the shade Nocturne Ash. It's a really beautiful purple shadow. It has like a beautiful greenish shift to it, or like green to purple and like gold, and it's a lot of different shift. Like the purple shift is a bit more kind of cool tone purple, whereas the shadow itself is a bit more warm tone purple. Super stunning. But 2 uses on this one, so a long way to go, but I'm glad that I have gotten a couple uses on it, and it hasn't been in my collection for too long, like I said, but I do want to again make sure that I reach for all my shadows, including this one. The third shadow from Davina is actually another one that I'm sitting at 2 uses on, so that's the golden number for Davina, clearly. This here is the shade Sugaze, which is another iridescent shade, and this is one that I feel like I should be able to reach for a lot more, because I love iridescent shades, and this one is quite a neutral one. It's like an icy greenish blue, if anything, but it's quite a neutral shade straight on that goes into pink shift. So it is one that I should be able to incorporate in a lot of looks, especially neutral looks. So fingers crossed that I can get a lot more use on this one before the end of the year. And then the final shadow from my Focus 15 is one from Shine by SD, and this here is the shade Revival, which is one of the Halo Horizon shadows, which is like what's it called, a holochrome, so it has holographic sparkles, and it's also a multichrome. Super pretty shade. It's the new kind of reformulated Halo Horizons, but with this one I'm only sitting on 1 use on it, so I have reached for it. I played around with it. It's a really stunning shade, but again, obviously a long way to go before I hit my goal. So again, that was my Focus 15, and out of those I actually only hit goal on 1 shadow, which obviously isn't ideal, but I do have a couple other shades that I also hit my goal on that is not for my Focus 15. The first one of those is actually one from my Panda palette. This here is from the Pastel Roses, and it's the shadow Starburst, and you can see I have a massive pan on this one, and I now have finally hit my 25 uses on this shadow. It took me a long time, but I just have not been reaching for these type of green shadows a lot earlier this year. However, I am feeling them a lot more now in autumn, so that is why I was able to hit my usual goal on this one. So very pleased with that, and that is 2 shadows that I've hit my goal on so far. And then the third shadow that I have hit my goal on, is actually the third and final shadow, is this one here. This one comes from Terra Moons, and this is the shade Galactic Blossom, which is a really stunning peachy shadow with like vibrant like gold with a slightly green tint shift to it. This one, like I said, has a massive dip in it now. No pan though, but I'm glad that I got my 25 uses on this one, and again another goal hit. So yeah, those are all of the shadows that I've hit my goal on, and I always go through my percentages and stuff like that. And I have now hit my goal on 34 shadows this year out of my 638 singles, which means that I currently have a percentage of 5.33. So again, I am not very far into this project, but obviously the further you go, yes, the uses go up, but also I will have more and more shadows that have a couple uses here and there. But I am happy with that percentage, and you know, it's not like I am expecting this project to end anytime soon. It's going to be like a background project for me over the next couple of years, and hopefully at some point I can get 100%, you know, with all my single shadows. That is the Focus 15 and the shadows that I've hit my goal on. And normally at this time I would kind of look over my Focus 15, remove the shadows that I want to replace, and introduce some new shadows. However, I have decided to switch it up a little bit now for the last little bit of the year, just because I do want to try to hit goal on as many shadows as I can. So I have decided to pick out 25 shadows that I would really try to focus on and hit my goal on. I don't know if I can get there with all of them, but these are definitely shadows that I want to focus on, and they all have, you know, not all of them, but a lot of them have high usage, or there are shadows that I can introduce into looks almost every single day. And out of my Focus 15, it's actually only 5 shadows that are staying into that rotation, and those are right here. We have Frank, which is currently sitting at 16 uses, Peach Smoothie, which is sitting at 12 uses, we have Nectarine, which is sitting at 10 uses, Berry Perry, which is sitting at 12 uses, and lastly Mango Tea, which is sitting at 15, right? 15 uses, yeah. So those are staying in. Those are going to be the first 5, but let's talk through the other shadows that I'm bringing in to kind of this rotation. And again, a lot of these are kind of shadows that I feel like I can easily incorporate, or it's shadows that I already have a decent amount of usage goal on, and these are the shadows right here. So these 20, I think it should be, are the shadows that I want to focus on. So let's talk through them. First up, we have Anastasia Unity. This was originally from the, what's it called, Prism palette, but I have depotted it. I have no uses on that one yet, but I think it's going to be a really good, easy transition shade, which is why I'm including it, because I think I should be able to, you know, hit my usage goal or get close to it in the next month, or, well, it's almost 2 full months. Then next to that here, we have Divina Sweetie Sunbeam, which is the only Divina shadow that I currently have in the rotation. And that one I'm sitting at 2 uses on, so not very high. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit this goal fully, but it is an easy everyday shadow, which is why I'm introducing it into this rotation. And again, if I can't hit my goal on it, at least I will hopefully be close, and I will have something easy to focus on beginning of next year. Then next brown I'm going to talk about here is Sydney Grace. I do have 4 shadows right here, plus obviously the Mango T-shirt that is staying in from the old palette. First up here we have the shadow Lemon Cream, which I'm sitting at 2 uses on. This here is Snow Cream, which I'm sitting at 3 uses on, but it's a white shadow, so I think that should hopefully be easy to incorporate. Then we have Springtime right here, which I'm sitting at 10 uses on. And then lastly, we have this here, which is Queen of the North, which has 15 uses. And I think when I hit goal on this shadow right here, I can focus on this shade and this shade in a very similar manner. And hopefully get all of those done, or at least again close to getting those 3 done. Then moving on, we have Terra Moons, and there's a lot of shadows from Terra Moons right here that I want to focus on. This here is Land on the Star. I have this one in my pan of side shadows, and I hit goal on it, and currently sitting at 12 uses right there. Then next to that we have the shade Atlas, which actually is currently in my pan of side shadows, a little bit of a spoiler there, but this one is sitting at 12 uses, and I think I can continue using this one and hit my 25 use goal on that one. Then we have this shadow right here, which is called Chasing Comets. It's like purple shadow there, and that one is sitting at 10 uses. We then have Lightspeed, which is also in my pan of side shadows, and I'm sitting at 10 uses on that one too. Then we have this shade here, which is an iridescent shade called Lunar Spectrum, and I actually don't have any uses on it, but it's a shadow that I feel like I can easily incorporate. It's not too dissimilar from Star Cut, which I hit my goal on this past month, and I really love that one as an inner corner highlight. It's not as kind of peachy, but it has like a bit of peach and a bit of a green kind of gold shift to it, so I think I should be able to hopefully hit my goal on that one. And if I can't again, I will hopefully get close. Then we have another shadow from my current Panda palette. This here is the shade Cinnamon Sugar. And I have 14 uses on it, so I only need 11 more. So I hopefully should be able to do that. And then lastly from Terra Moons, we have this one right here, which is Hot Spice Cider. And that one is sitting at 8 uses, but it's a perfect autumnal shade. So hopefully again, I can get close to my uses on that shadow. Then we have 2 more brands to go. We have Shine by SD and then Cleona. Shine by SD, we have first up Mystic right here, which is sitting at 11 uses. So again, a little bit of way to go, but I think it's a beautiful shadow for like the holiday season. It's very sparkly and very pretty. And then next to that, we have the shade Frisky, which actually I don't have any uses on, but I used to want to get you might use out of this one because I feel like it's an absolutely pretty shade, and I also think it's quite unique from everything else in this palette. So hopefully again I can incorporate that and get some decent use on it. And then the last brand we have, of course, is Cleona. These are the shadows right here. So we have 5 of them. First up right here, I'm looking at them. This is Queen's Banquet. We have 11 uses. Then next to that we have, I believe, Niello. Yeah, that is Niello, which is 10 uses. Then next to that we have Line of Queens, which has 11 uses. Then we have Opulent right here, which has 10 uses. I really love that shadow. And then lastly, we actually have a shadow that I don't have any use on this year or tracked or anything like that, but I have a lot of prior use to it, and it's one of my favorite shadows just because it's so versatile as like an inner corner or like a lid shade or brightening shade. And that is the shade Sunbeam. It's the original Sunbeam, and I want to get some use out of that one, so that is going to be the last shadow that I have in this focus, like I guess 25 this round. So the shadows from these 2 palettes right here that are remaining, those are the ones we're going to focus on a lot in the next coming months. But I'm always not going to be upset if I don't hit the goal on all of these. I'm just going to focus on as many of these as I can and try to hit goals as many as I can. But I also, of course, have my Panda palette, and I also have a lot of shadows that I want to finish this year, which is going to take a lot of work. So I'm going to have to balance that, and we're just going to see how far I can get. And again, if I don't hit the goal on all of these, I'm hopefully just going to get a bit of a head start for next year of this project. And I have mentioned, I think I mentioned this in a couple of videos, but I'm not going to do a finale for this project. I'm just going to continue kind of rolling it into next year. And of course, from January 1st, the goal is going to go up from 25 to 26 uses. But that is going to be it for today for the most part. With these shadows right here, I'm going to post, I think it's going to be my next video, but it's going to be my BYOP video, where I'm going to put these into a palette and make BYOP. I don't know if I'm going to add any more shadows or just keep these separate, because again, I do want to focus on this one a lot. So we'll see what I do, but that's going to be up in my next video. I probably will maybe include some other like complementary shades, but we're just gonna have to see what happens. So that is going to be it again for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please of course go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and otherwise I hope you're having the best day wherever you are, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye guys.